Moving on to the next topic, refraction of light through a prism. First question, what is a prism? Prism is made out of 3 rectangular faces and 2 triangular faces. Look, rectangle, 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 triangle, triangle. Fine. So 1, 2, 3 rectangle, and automatically you find a triangle here and triangle here. See, 1, 2, 3 rectangle, triangle, triangle. When you are looking at a prism and we are going to study light, we will be looking at the front end of the triangular face. Light will enter from one lateral face, lateral means side, and come out from the other lateral face. Fine. So now we know what's a prism. This angle between the 2 lateral faces, this angle is called the angle of the prism. So we will draw like this. We won't be drawing so complicated. We'll just draw a triangle because that is what we are observing. So we have rectangle, 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 triangle, triangle. We'll be viewing it like this. So we will only be seeing the triangular part. We will later even understand how white light is coming and we're getting rainbow colors here. We will understand that a little later. So we know what is angle of prism. The angle between the 2 lateral faces through which the light is entering and leaving the prism is known as the angle of prism. We know what is a prism. Let's go in detail of how light bends in refracts in a prism. So now I have a prism here. This is the angle of prism. There is a light ray incident on the prism. This first ray, let's say incident ray. Okay, let's call this ABC. PQ. Now it's going from air to glass. Ray is going from air to glass. So what should I do now? First draw normal here. Ray wanted to go in this direction, but now it bends towards the normal. Why? It's going from air to glass, rarer to denser, bends towards the normal. So the ray bends towards the normal. It bends down and it goes like this. Okay, it bent towards the normal. Now the ray meets the other lateral face. At this face, ray is going from glass to air, denser to rarer, moves away from the normal. So ray had to go like this, but now it moves away from the normal. If I extend this back, it goes here. So basically, the ray wanted to go in this direction, but it's bending and coming here. For a person who does not know physics, for him, if someone standing here and someone standing here, they'll feel this ray has gone here, bent so much and come. So this angle is known as the angle of deviation. Angle between incident ray and normal, angle of incidence. Angle between refracted ray and normal, angle of refraction. Here angle between emergent ray and normal, angle of emergence. Yes, you have 2 R's here because you can call this I1, R1, R2. Then what will happen? Angle of incidence at first phase, angle of refraction at first phase. Angle of incidence at second phase, angle of refraction at third phase. Okay, in general, this is just I, this is just R, we don't mark this into. So we can say angle of incidence, angle of refraction, and we finally have the angle of emergence, and this is the angle of deviation. Easy. A note to understand in such questions, in this questions, in prism is, if it is an equilateral prism, all these sides are equal. The ray bends in such a way that it is parallel to the base. The refracted ray is parallel to the base. If it is an isosceles prism, not this isosceles with this, the 2 lateral faces through which refraction is happening, these 2 are isosceles, then also the ray bends such that the refracted ray is parallel to the base. So in an isosceles and equilateral prism, the ray bends in such a way that the refracted ray is parallel to the base. The other question that I can ask you in this is, how does a ray bend in a prism? 1 mark question. A ray bends in a prism in such a way that it always bends towards the base. Look, ray was going here, it bent towards, base is here, it bends towards the base. Base is here, it again bends towards the base. So ray always bends towards the base in a prism. The next concept, dispersion. This is responsible for rainbow. We see rainbow, so beautiful. How does it happen? Okay, before that, let's have a small recap from light. In these colors, VIBGYOR, violet and red, we'll study the extremes. Violet has shortest wavelength. Red has longest wavelength. Correct? Shortest wavelength means more refractive index, less refractive index. More refractive index means more bending, less bending. Keep this in mind and you will understand how dispersion works. White light. White light has 7 colors in it. White light has 7 colors in it. So, this is a prism. I have white light incident here. Inside white light there is VIBGYOR, violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. Violet wants to bend more. Red wants to bend less. So what happens? If the ray was supposed to go like this, violet wants to bend more. So the violet color bends more. Red wants to bend less. It will bend, but it will bend less. So now again when it comes out, violet wants to bend more. It will bend even more. Red wants to bend less. So you will see VIBGYOR, which is why red is on top. When you see the rainbow, red color is on top, violet color is below. Why? Because of this. Understood? So here you have the 7 colors, VIBGYOR. So white light constitutes of 7 colors. Dispersion, the splitting up of white light into its 7 constituent colors is called dispersion. The phenomena of splitting up of white light into its 7 constituent colors is called dispersion. Cause, why does this happen? Different colors of light have different refractive indexes. Because it has different refractive indexes, the speed varies and the bending varies, which is why the white light splits into 7 colors. Spectrum. What is spectrum? This band of 7 colors, that make the white light, that constitute the white light, is called spectrum. Don't get confused between spectrum and dispersion. Dispersion is the phenomena of it splitting. These 7 colors together is called spectrum. So we need to understand a small note in this question. More the refractive index, more the deviation, which is why violet deviated the most. So can I say angle of deviation for violet is more than angle of deviation for red? Yes. Why? Because Ri of violet is more than Ri of red. Newton studied an inverted prism experiment. Newton came up with this experiment. Let's see how it works. He took 2 identical prisms, that means prisms having the same angle of prism, this, and he placed it inverted with each other. He put white light on the first prism. What happened? The white light split, like we know. It split into its band of 7 colors. On reaching this, with this inverted prism, white light, the rays in a prism always bend towards the base. So it bent towards the base. Now this is the base. It will bend towards that base. So it bent towards that base. So it bent towards the base again. And you can see they come out as white light again. So he took 2 identical prisms having the same angle of prism, kept it inverted with respect to each other, In the first prism, he observed that the white light split into the 7 colors. In the second prism, he observed that the white light recombined those 7 colors and came out as white light again. So now we learn dispersion. We know one of the applications of dispersion is the rainbow. But before we go to understand how the rainbow is formed, we have to study 2 other concepts: critical angle and total internal reflection. Let's say this is the denser medium and this is rarer medium or air. A light ray is going from denser medium to rarer medium. So it had to go in this direction. It bends away from the normal. Now, this is the angle of incidence, right? I increase the angle of incidence. Now the ray had to go like this. It again bends towards the normal and bends even more. I increase the angle of incidence even more. Now you will see the ray had to go in this direction, but now it bends and it goes on this itself. So for this ray, we saw that it bent so much that it is going on the surface itself. So what is the angle of refraction here? 90 degree. This angle of incidence, for which the angle of refraction is 90 degree, is itself called critical angle. Critical angle is the angle of incidence for which the angle of refraction is 90 degree when the ray is moving from a denser medium to a rarer medium. This is critical angle. What is TIR? If I may increase this angle more than C, if I increase this angle more than C, that means more than critical angle. For critical angle itself, it bent and it touched the surface. If I increase it more than C, then what happens? If I increase it more than C, the ray will bend even more and enter the medium. The ray will bend even more and enter the medium. Is it reflection? No, it is refraction. Due to refraction, it's looking like reflection. For a person standing here, he'll feel, oh, light is reflecting back, bouncing back into the same medium. Is it reflection though? No. So this is actually refraction, but referred to as total internal reflection. What are the 2 conditions needed for total internal reflection? Condition 1, ray must be traveling from a denser medium to rarer medium. Condition 2, the angle of incidence should be more than critical angle for us to observe TIR. So how is the rainbow formed? And when is it formed? You will observe a rainbow when it has rained, it has just rained, and there is also a bright sun shining. So you need the sun and you need the after rain. That means after the rain there will be few water droplets suspended in the sky. There are few water droplets suspended in the sky. There are water droplets here. These water droplets act like small prisms. We also need the sunlight. So sunlight originally white color. White color sunlight comes. This is a prism. In prism, if white light enters, it splits into its 7 colors. Why? Because of dispersion. So it splits into its 7 colors. Red is on top, violet below. It goes here. In this water droplet, it's denser medium. Outside is air. Denser medium to air. Rays trying to go from denser to rarer, and this angles are usually for these water droplets, the critical angle is very small, 22 or something like that. So these angles, this angle of incidence here is usually more than that. So TIR takes place, internal reflection takes place. So here what happened? It split, dispersion took place. Over here what happened? Internal reflection takes place and the rays reflect back into the same water droplet. When it comes here now, refraction takes place and the rays come out. You see the rainbow. So we need water droplets, we need the sun. What are the 3 phenomena? First dispersion, then internal reflection and refraction is observed in rainbow formation. You need the water droplets and the sunlight. Those are the conditions required. And see, if I want to see this rainbow, I have to be standing here, which means the sun is behind me. So usually the sun is behind you and you see the rainbow in front of